Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Student, today we are going to talk about the adrenal gland, which is present on the top of each kidney. So adrenal gland is a pair of glands located on the top of each kidney. So you can see here, this is our kidney, the structure, and this structure is called adrenal gland, which is present on both kidney. This is one kidney, and there is another kidney which is also present the adrenal gland. So we can say the adrenal gland is a pair of glands which are present on the top of each kidney. If we say about its weight, so each adrenal gland is about 5 gram weight, each adrenal gland. So one is 5, another is 5, so we can say that the both adrenal gland has a 10 gram weight. Nature: endocrine gland. These adrenal glands are endocrine because they don't have any duct to secrete its hormone. They secrete this hormone directly into blood, which carry this hormone into its target tissues. Parts: it is composed of two parts. One is the adrenal cortex, second is the adrenal medulla. So you can see here, this part, this red part is called the cortex part, and this green part is the medulla. So adrenal gland is composed of two parts: the adrenal cortex, which is the outer part, and the adrenal medulla, which is the inner part. And we are going to talk about the secretion of these two parts of the adrenal gland. Next, we are going to talk about the parts of the adrenal gland, which compose of two parts: the cortex part and the medulla part. So we will focus ourselves toward the adrenal cortex. It is the outer reddish part. So you can see here, this reddish part is called adrenal cortex. It control all the function of adrenal cortex is controlled by the ACTH, which is adrenocorticotropic hormone, which is secreted by anterior pituitary. So the anterior pituitary control all the function or all the hormone which are secreted by the adrenal cortex. They are controlled by ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone of anterior pituitary. Secretion: adrenal cortex totally secrete about 15 different types of hormone, which we call correctly as a corticosteroids. So the hormones which are secreted by adrenal cortex, the cortex part of the medulla, is the corticosteroid. Now we are going to talk about its secretion. What would think they secrete? So mainly the adrenal cortex secrete a lot of about 15 different types of hormone, but we will study there about a few. Okay, the first one hormone is the glycocorticoid hormone. Okay, this hormone is secreted by the cortex part of the adrenal gland, which increase the blood glucose level. So I will write there as a, they increase blood glucose level. Okay, so this hormone increase the blood glucose level and also support the action of insulin. Next is a support action of insulin. Insulin is another hormone which is secreted by the pancreas as a endocrine hormone. It also stimulates and increase the blood glucose level by converting the glycogen into glucose. So the glycocorticoid hormone also support the action of insulin. So it means that it also increase the blood glucose level. It acts on the glycogen present in the liver and convert them to glucose. So they are endocrine hormone, so it firstly absorb into the blood vessels, and then blood vessel carry this hormone to the liver, and in the liver the stored glycogen, which is carbohydrate, is converted into glucose and increase the blood glucose level. The next hormone is the aldosterone. Okay. Aldosterone hormone is also we call as a mineral corticoid hormone. Okay. This hormone is also secreted by the cortex part of the adrenal gland, and we also call as a mineral corticoid hormone because it increases the sodium level in the blood. It increases the blood pressure, and they increase the blood sodium level and decrease the blood potassium level. So increase sodium in a level in blood. Okay. Second one is a decrease potassium level. Okay, it increase the sodium level in blood and decrease the potassium level in blood. So it also increase blood pressure. Okay, so this hormone increase the sodium level in blood, decrease the potassium level in blood, and also increase the blood pressure. This action of aldosterone hormone in the blood is done by like this, like this is the nephron. It mainly function on the nephron. So okay. So when the glomerulus filtrate occur, so the sodium is also removed from the blood. So in these tubules, like it is the descending loop of Hind. So in this portion, the aldosterone hormone is secreted from the cortex part of the adrenal hormone, which increase the Na level in blood like this. So the sodium which is removed from the blood in the toxic material nitrogen bases, so it is reabsorbed in the blood vessels. So you can see here there the blood vessel fast from this portion, so it is back reabsorb it into the blood vessel, and this way it maintain the normal level of Na in blood. Okay, decrease potassium level and blood. So when the potassium level and blood is increased, so it acts on the glomerulus filtrate to remove more amount of potassium from the blood. Next is also increased blood pressure. So when the Na level is increased in the blood, so it maintain the normal blood pressure and also maintain as a homeostasis in our body. The next hormone will be another type of hormone, which is about a sexual hormone. We can say this sexual hormone. It is name is androgen. Okay, androgen. This is a hormone which produce some sexually behavior in the body. It acts and the woman it produce the sexually male-like behavior. So when it is secreted, so it produce the male-like behavior, and it is secreted in less number. They are secreted less amount in male and also in female. Okay, so it is secreted less amount in male and also in female. If it is secreted in more amount, so it causes a disease which lead to the production of male-like sexually behavior in them. Okay, now we are going to talk about some disease which are associated with the secretion of these hormones by the adrenal cortex. The first one disease, the disorder which is formed due to the secretion of adrenal cortex hormone. The first disease or disorder is the adhesion disease. It is a disease in which the blood glucose level is lower. So when the previous hormone, the glycocorticoid, okay, so I write again glycocorticoid. When the glycocorticoid hormone is secreted by the adrenal cortex in less amount, so the amount of glucose become less in the blood. So this disease is called adhesion disease. Okay, so I write here low blood glucose level. Okay, so its symptoms are there that it low muscle activity. The person which who have the adhesion disease, so his muscle activity is weak, and he is weak on his activities and the life, and it have low blood glucose level. So due to this reason it have low muscle activity due to the less secretion of glycocorticoid, less secretion. Okay, next is another disease which is called which is opposite to this disease. Its name is Cushing disease. Name is Cushing disease. Okay, Cushing disease. This disease is totally opposite to the previous adhesion disease. When the blood glucose level become high, when the glycocorticoid hormone secreted by the adrenal cortex in high amount, so the disease name is causing disease is caused in the body. Okay, so right here is a glycocorticoid high secretion. Okay, so right here high blood glucose level. It have high blood glucose level, and another is a symptom is a weakness. Second is a production of hairs on face. So when the causing disease is caused to a person, so it have the production, it have the ability to produce the hairs on the face. So the hair on the face is actually due to the secretion of causing disease, and which the blood glucose level become high. And another is a black spots on the skin. So the causing disease also causes the creation, the production of black spots on the skin of the patient. Okay. Next, we will talk about the medulla part of the adrenal gland. So you can see here the medulla is the inner part which secretes several hormone. This is the inner greenish in color. So you can see here it is greenish in color like this. It is composed of nerve cells which are ganglionic sympathetic neuron. So it is composed of like this is neuron. These neuron synthesize its hormone which excrete. This synthesis emotional hormone secretion. This part secrete emotional hormones because they are secreted during stress, anxiety, peer pressure, and other unusual situation. So the medulla part of the adrenal gland secrete emotional hormone. Like if we feel fear, so we want to go from this place. Like if we have some danger from a dog, like, so we go from that place. If we have some anxiety from some side that I will beat you, don't come here, so we will feel fear. And the pressure, like someone is saying us that you have to do this work by this time, so we feel pressure. So this during this pressure time, the emotional hormone secreted by our adrenal medulla of adrenal gland. And also other unusual situation, like, so the adrenal medulla secrete their hormone, emotional hormone, when we are speech, and the speech is emotional speech. So the emotional hormone are secreted in our by our adrenal medulla. And if we feel fear during night time, if we feel pressure from someone, if we feel anxiety from something, so these all are controlled by our adrenal medulla, which secrete the emotional hormone to do something new. If we feel anger is also controlled by our adrenal medulla secretion, the emotional hormone. So let's come about its hormone. Next we will talk about the hormones secreted by the adrenal medulla. So actually the adrenal medulla secrete only two types of hormone, which we call the epinephrine hormone and norepinephrine, or we can say adrenaline and noradrenaline. So actually epinephrine hormone is secreted during the stress, anxiety, during pressure, during someone is fighting with you. So this hormone is secreted that time. So it is also, we say it is a vasodilator of blood vessels. Allow you to fight or flight. So we can also say the epinephrine hormone is fight or flight hormone. This hormone is secreted when someone is fighting with you and you are not able to fight with him. So this hormone is secreted that time. This hormone enable you to completely fight with him, that or he will beat you or you will beat you, or you have to fight because you are not able to fight with him. So this hormone is secreted that time. It allow you to fight completely or fight completely. Okay. This hormone has several functions. It increase blood pressure. Okay. So when you are in your anger and you are fighting with someone, so your vessels become vasodilate and the blood pressure are so high that you become reddish in color. You become anger. So the vasodilator mean that you are actually going to break your vessels. The blood pressure is so high that you are going to break your vessels, blood vessels. Next is increase converting of glycogen to glucose. And the third one, the first one, the second one, and the third one is increase metabolic activities. So when this hormone is secreted and you are in your anger, you have to fight or flight, so you need more energy that time. If you are going to fight, so during the fight time, you have to increase your metabolic activities. You have to move your hands and limbs with full speed and beat another person. And if you have to flight, then you also need enough energy because you have to run with a high speed. So you have to increase also your metabolic activities of your limbs. So during this time your metabolic activities increase, so you have more need of glucose. So the store glycogen in the liver is converted by the action of insulin and another hormone which is secreted by the adrenal cortex named as glycocorticoid. I mentioned before. By the action of that, the glycogen are converted into glucose because you need more energy. The third one is increase heartbeat. So if your blood pressure become high, so your heartbeat will also increase also increase, because during the part or plant time your color is become reddish, so it is due to increase of heartbeat and the blood pressure. And the five one is increase breathing. So during part or play time, if you are running, if you are parting with another, so you are using your energy more and more. But oxidizing of the energy in your cells, you have need of more oxygen, and in the result of more oxygen using, you will produce more carbon dioxide. So you have to increase your breathing, the inhaling of oxygen and the exhaling of CO2. So that time you have to increase your breathing. So you have prioritized that when you are parting or planting, so that time you are inhaling and exhaling with very high speed. And another talk, the time is a blood flow increases to lungs. So you increased your breathing rate, so there will be more oxygen in your lungs, and there is need of more oxygen in your cells, so more blood will come to your lungs in order to carry this oxygen from your alveoli through the diffusion process, in order to carry these to every cells of your body in order to oxidize the food and give you energy. So this was the epinephrine hormone, or we can also say it is a adrenaline. Okay, so this was epinephrine or adrenaline. Next we are going to talk about its opposite hormone, are same but name opposite. It's called as a norepinephrine. This was epinephrine. The next one is the norepinephrine. Next is the norepinephrine, or we can also say as a noradrenaline. Noradrenaline. Okay. Most of the hormones which are secreted in the kidney part, we call it adrenal. So the kidney part is also we mostly call adrenal. It is adrenal part, adrenal pelvis, adrenal pyramid, a lot of. So we say is adrenaline. This hormone don't allow you to fight or flight. This hormone is a constrictor of your blood vessel. So we can say as the previous one was a vasodilator. It going to break your vessels, but it is constrictor. Vasoconstrictor. It is a hormone which is secreted when you are in fear. So sometime your skin become a little white color. You become white and yellowish color. So this hormone is secreted that time, which we call norepinephrine. It don't allow you to fight or flight. So the function of this hormone is it decrease the blood flow to lung, and previous we saw that it increase the blood flow to various organ in order to do something fight or flight. And this hormone it decrease, so we can say decrease blood flow okay, to organs. So this hormone decrease the blood flow to organs, and next is it is like the another increase blood pressure, and the third one is increase converting of glycogen and glucose. So the person of this hormone is decreasing the blood flow to various organs. It increase your blood pressure. It increase the converting of glycogen and to glucose. But this hormone, the epinephrine and norepinephrine, is a little same. There are same points, like in both hormone have the increasing of converting of glycogen and to glucose. Both hormone increase the blood pressure. Both hormone increase the heartbeat. Both hormone increase the breathing rate. Both hormone increase the flow of blood to lung. And but different in that epinephrine is part applied, but not epinephrine is not part applied, and that was vasodilator, but it is vasoconstrictor. So student, I hope that you have learned more about my lecture. So please, if you have any doubt and question, so mention and comment, and please subscribe my channel to receive more of my videos.